One of the things that we don't talk enough about is the dangers associated with lead exposure and the ways that we can limit that exposure. While we may not think a lot about it, sometimes we don't even realize the level at which we are exposed on a regular basis. However, over time, constant lead exposure can result in lead levels that are much higher than most doctors recommend. In our reloading room, our tumblers can be a major source of lead exposure. There are several ways that we can mitigate our exposure to that lead dust. You can ensure that you are tumbling in a well-ventilated place, or better yet, outside. I have added dryer sheets to my media as it tumbles to help cut down on the amount of dust. And I've heard of other people using liquid wax or other solvents to not only help shine up their brass, but also cut down on the dust as well. When separating your brass, remember to wear a mask. And handling brass with nitrile gloves also helps limit your exposure to the little bits of dust that are going to be stuck to the cases. Some folks have dispensed with traditional vibratory tumbling entirely, opting instead to use a wet method with or without stainless steel or other media. Coated bullets have also become quite popular the past couple of years, with some claiming that their use will also limit their exposure to lead, both in the reloading room and on the firing line. One of the biggest dangers of lead exposure comes from our primers. Most traditional primer compounds contain lead, which is expelled downrange every time we pull the trigger. The lead dust not only drops near the firing line, but if the wind is right, it can come right back on the shooter and the TO and all over the firing line. Another way that we can reduce our risk to lead exposure is to share posse duties with other qualified participants. By limiting the time that we are holding the timer or spotting stick, we are also limiting our exposure to lead. There are several other common sense precautions that we can use to help limit our exposure. Make sure that you wash your hands after shooting, handling ammunition, or working in the reloading room. Several soaps and other products are available that are marketed to help remove lead from your skin. Lead-removing hand wipes are also marketed for use and come in handy at ranges where water may not be readily available. And remember, the lead particles that we talked about out on the range may also be picked up by your clothing and tracked around by your shoes. I am not a doctor, and this video does not replace advice from your physician. If you have concerns about your lead levels, please seek the advice of a qualified medical professional for testing and treatment options. And while no one is suggesting that you go and live in a bubble and never go to the range again, a few simple steps can make sure that you are healthy and ready to go, where I hope to see you next time on the firing line.